Here is the revised script, written to be a clean, standalone piece around the target word count. Here's a reality that often goes unspoken, and it's quietly affecting your finances every single month. The government provided a raise this year in the form of a 2.8% cost of living adjustment. For the average person, this translates to roughly $56 more in your monthly Social Security check beginning in 2026. That sounds like a positive development, right? But before you celebrate, it's crucial to see the full picture of what's happening simultaneously. Medicare Part B premiums have increased by nearly 10%, climbing from $185 a month to $229. That's $17.90 gone before you ever see a penny of that raise. For countless Americans, particularly those with lower benefits, the result is stark. Your effective raise essentially becomes zero. It's completely consumed by rising healthcare expenses. And there's another figure that is surprising many people. Some beneficiaries are seeing Medicare-related adjustments that push their gross benefit figures above $2,434 a month. However, the amount that actually gets deposited into their bank account tells an entirely different story. The maximum Social Security benefit in 2026 can reach up to $4,733 for those who strategized and delayed claiming. But the reality is, most individuals never planned for this level of complexity. They placed their trust in the system to provide for them. Now, they find themselves at the kitchen table, puzzled as to why their check no longer goes as far as it used to. After decades of observing this, it's clear that the headline numbers are not what those in Washington want you to focus on. You need to grasp the complete picture of what's happening to your money this March and beyond, because the responsibility for protecting your retirement rests solely with you. Let's break down exactly what is occurring, step by step, so you can move from uncertainty to understanding. Consider this for a moment. You dedicated 40 years to the workforce. Perhaps you were an educator, a truck driver, or you ran a small business from your home. You contributed to Social Security with every single paycheck, without fail, without complaint, trusting in the system. Now you're retired, living on a fixed income. Each January, you find yourself checking your mailbox or your banking app, hoping to see if that cost of living adjustment has actually made a tangible difference in your life. Year after year, the answer is often the same: not really. It's important to discuss March 2026 specifically, because there has been a significant shift. Understanding what changed and why is crucial, as it directly impacts the decisions you make about your finances for the rest of your retirement. That's not an exaggeration, it's simply the truth. Let's begin with the COLA, as it's the figure that dominates the headlines. For 2026, Social Security recipients received a 2.8% cost of living adjustment. The Social Security Administration calculates this based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, comparing data from the third quarter of the previous year to measure price increases. Your benefit is then adjusted accordingly. On the surface, this seems fair and reasonable. But it's essential to look beyond the headline, because that number rarely reflects the real-world impact on your life. The average Social Security benefit for a retired worker in 2026 is estimated to be around $1,926 a month after the 2.8% COLA. That's approximately $54 more per month than in 2025. While $54 isn't nothing, its impact is minimized before it even reaches you. Medicare Part B premiums are automatically deducted, and this is where the story changes dramatically, with the premium jumping to $229 per month, up from $185. You're facing a $17.90 increase, so you gain roughly $54 from the COLA, but immediately lose $17.90 to Medicare. Your real effective raise ends up being around $36 a month. That amount barely covers a tank of gas, and certainly doesn't keep pace with rising costs at the grocery store or pharmacy. These are the actual figures, and it's important to confront them directly. There's been some confusion surrounding the figure of $2,434, so let's clarify that. This number often appears in discussions about Social Security disability insurance payments and specific beneficiary categories. In these cases, the combination of Medicare premium adjustments and benefit calculations can result in a gross benefit in that range. For some recipients, particularly those with higher benefits where premium deductions are more complex, this gross figure is real. However, what catches people off guard is the significant difference between that gross number and the net amount that finally hits their bank account after all deductions for Medicare and other costs. This discrepancy is rarely explained. You receive a benefit verification letter from the government in November. Many people see the gross number, feel a sense of relief, and then are confused when their bank account balance in March tells a different story. The goal is to bridge that gap in understanding. Another critical factor is something called IRMAA, or the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. If you have any additional income in retirement, such as a pension, investment earnings, a part-time job, or required minimum distributions from retirement accounts, this could be affecting you. IRMAA is essentially a surcharge on Medicare for higher income retirees. If your modified adjusted gross income from 2 years ago exceeded $106,000 for a single filer or $212,000 for a couple, you are paying more for Medicare Part B and Part D than the standard premium. This surcharge can add hundreds of dollars monthly on top of the base premium. A common pitfall occurs when someone has a one-time income event, like selling property or making a Roth conversion, and then gets hit with IRMAA surcharges 2 years later based on that single spike. The good news is that you can appeal this if your income has since decreased. By filing Form SSA 44 and documenting a life-changing event with your local Social Security office, you may be able to adjust it. This is an option many people don't know about and simply accept the higher premium. Don't let that be you. The specific timing in March matters because of how Social Security pays benefits. Payments are made based on your birth date. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th, you receive your payment on the second Wednesday of the month. Birthdays between the 11th and the 20th mean payment on the third Wednesday, and birthdays from the 21st to the 31st receive it on the fourth Wednesday. For March 2026, this means payments are spread across 3 different Wednesdays. The updated benefit amounts reflecting the 2026 COLA should be included in these payments. If the amount deposited doesn't match your expectations, don't assume it will correct itself. Proactively contact the Social Security Administration, visit a local office, or log into your My Social Security account online to verify your payment history. Being your own advocate is essential, as discrepancies often aren't resolved without your initiative. A common question, especially from those in their 60s and early 70s, is whether they made the right choice about when to claim Social Security. It's important to approach this with honesty and compassion, as for many, this decision is already made. However, understanding the underlying math helps you make smarter financial decisions moving forward. Claiming at 62 results in a permanently reduced benefit, roughly 25 to 30% lower than your full retirement age amount. Waiting until age 70, on the other hand, increases your benefit by 24 to 32% due to delayed retirement credits that accrue at 8% per year. For a concrete example, on a $2,000 monthly benefit at full retirement age, claiming at 62 might give you about $1,400. Waiting until 70 could yield over $2,600. The break-even point, where waiting pays off in cumulative benefits, is typically around age 80 to 82. For those in good health with a family history of longevity, waiting is mathematically advantageous. However, it's also true that not everyone has the financial flexibility to delay. What's important now is using this framework to plan the rest of your financial life intelligently. Taxes are another area that surprises many retirees who assume their Social Security income would be tax-free. In reality, up to 85% of your benefits can be subject to federal income tax, depending on your combined income. This combined income is your adjusted gross income, plus any non-taxable interest, plus 1/2 of your Social Security benefits. For a single filer, if that total exceeds $25,000 or $32,000 for a married couple, a portion of your benefits becomes taxable. At higher income levels, up to 85 cents of every Social Security dollar can be counted as taxable income. These rules have been in place for decades, but continue to catch people off guard. If you have substantial traditional IRA or 401k balances that necessitate large required minimum distributions, those RMDs can increase your combined income and trigger higher taxes on your Social Security. This is why strategic Roth conversions in the early retirement years, before RMDs begin at age 73, can be a powerful planning tool. You pay taxes on the conversion now, but you reduce future RMDs, potentially keeping your combined income lower and protecting more of your Social Security from taxation in the long run. Looking at the bigger picture, a common concern is the long-term solvency of Social Security itself. The honest answer is that the Social Security trust funds have been depleting their reserves. The latest trustees report projects that if no legislative action is taken, the combined trust fund reserves could be exhausted around 2033 or 2034. However, a critical distinction often gets lost in the panic. Depleted does not mean the program ends. Even if the trust fund reserves hit zero, the ongoing payroll taxes from current workers would still be sufficient to pay about 77 to 80% of scheduled benefits. So while a reduction is a possibility if Congress fails to act, complete elimination is not. Social Security impacts over 70 million Americans, making it politically untenable for any party to propose gutting it entirely. Reforms are likely, perhaps adjustments for higher earners, a later retirement age for younger workers, or changes to the payroll tax cap. But for those already retired or nearing retirement, the likelihood of dramatic, immediate cuts is much lower than alarming headlines suggest. This doesn't mean you ignore the issue. It means you plan with realistic assumptions rather than fear-driven ones. Ultimately, the key takeaway is to view your retirement as an interconnected system, not just a single monthly check. Social Security is one piece, Medicare is another, and they interact with your savings, investments, housing, and healthcare needs. Everything connects and must be managed with intention. The individuals who struggle in retirement are often not those with the least amount of money, but those who never developed a comprehensive plan. They may have claimed Social Security at a convenient time rather than an optimal one, overlooked the tax implications of their withdrawals, or failed to review their Medicare coverage to ensure it met their needs. They simply let retirement happen to them. That outcome is not for you. You have worked hard and sacrificed too much. You deserve a retirement that truly feels like the reward it was meant to be. The information and tools are available, and by understanding these key factors, you are already taking a crucial step towards securing that reality.
Yeah, grind mode on, can't kill my drive. Turn the pressure up, I come alive. Grind mode on, I don't fold, I don't quit. Hunger in my chest, every beat I commit. Eyes on the prize, no sleep till it's won. World in my hands when the grind mode's on. Wake up with a vision, I'm locked on the target. Turn pain into fuel, I'm a flame, I spark it. No shortcuts here, I embrace every test. Pressure on my shoulders, still I handle it best. I was made for the climb, every loss, every scar. Built me in the steel, now I shine like a star. If the road gets rough, I just double my speed. Ambition on 10, I was born to lead. Grind mode on, I don't fold, I don't quit. Hunger in my chest, every beat I commit. Eyes on the prize, no sleep till it's won. World in my hands when the grind mode's on. They said limits exist, but I shattered the frame. Every wall in my path is just fuel for the frame. Discipline heavy, but my spirit is free. I don't chase success, success chases me. I'm the storm and the calm, I'm the rise, I'm the proof. Every bar that I drop is the grind in the booth. Blood, sweat, tears, that's the code I trust. I don't wait for the crown, I earn it, I must.